I'm now going to walk you through our resilience and community activity pack. This is designed by artist Fuzia Johnson with the support of Comics Youth CIC in Merseyside. Again, you'll see this is our icebreaker activity, which is a question that we use with all of our audiences at WOW. And it's a really good way to open up the conversation about gender equity. And here, again, these are our definitions that we offer. But again, do please feel free to explore other definitions. So, why do zines exist? And what is a zine? A zine is a short magazine, essentially, and it's often a handmade or low-cost produced publication to communicate a specific theme. This slide asks the young people to start to identify their opinions and think about how they could raise their voice on the topics they care about as they start to see themselves as future change makers. An extension here can be a group discussion around what year was the first zine made. I mean, I'm going to ask it to the chat. You could adapt this by giving possible answers to pick from and using silent voting to guess. If you don't know the answer, it's 1930. An extension activity would be to consider the landscape of the 1930s and why zines might have been important then. I think there's a lot of opportunity for cross-curricular work as we think about zines. So again, here we discussed these three terms: resilience, community, and activism. And the activity here is to match the words to the image. There's not really a right answer here. And this activity might promote some discussions around the definitions of the words, and they are offered in another slide. But it also starts to introduce the idea that images can be used as well as words as a tool for expressing themes. You can either match the words using a kind of pen on your smartboard, or you can actually move the icons around. An extension for this is that young people could actually come up with their own images to match these words, or they could work in groups to create their own definitions of these words and what they mean to them. Here, the learners start to think about what their zine could be about. We'd suggest maybe having paired discussions around this, and you could use it as a moment to encourage students to think about their passions, the things they care the most about, or think about linking into bigger campaigns which your school or organisation is focusing on. And then during the pack, you'll see this clip from the WOW London Festival, and it features Michaela Loach. We encourage you to watch the clip and engage in a discussion about what she's saying about change. And you can use this as a way for the young people to think about the things they are passionate about and the things that they would like to change. From our perspective, any of the young people who interact with these activities could be like Michaela one day. And we think it's really important to see that platforms exist for this type of career that combines creativity with positive change. And this is a very beautiful printable sheet where young people can start to map out what the contents of their zine might be. They could even take this home if you wanted to revisit the zine making in a different session. For those who found the language more challenging, you could also put this up on the board and work through it all together. Now, here's the fun bit. This is one of the ways that you can fold paper to make a zine. This version will leave you with an A5 zine, and you can add as many pages as feels appropriate for the time that you have. The session guide, so like the PDF document, has all the written instructions for how to make this zine, which accompany the visual instructions on the slide. However, there are many, many other ways to fold a zine. And if you look online, you'll see, for example, a mini version you can do with one sheet of A4. And you might like to play music while young people are making their zine template. Here we have ideas of where to start, but hopefully by this point it's feeling quite clear to the young people. As they're building their zine, it's worth thinking about the approach you'd like to take so they can get as far along as possible within the allocated time. This could be that you time each page, or you focus only on the front cover, or maybe you give them time kind of after they leave to finish things. And then here we have a little reflection activity at the end, which is designed to support the young people to feel optimistic and determined about their possible future roles in change making. We'd really, really, really love to see some of the work that's created. So As you can see on this slide, we've got a QR code, which means that you can upload work and it will live in our live gallery. We will hear more about that later from my wonderful colleague, Helena. But let's just have a little word from Marie about some of our adaptations and extensions.
Thank you, Kat. So yes, Kat's covered off most of the adaptations and extensions. However, one tool which we found really helpful for zine making is collage. So especially for young people who prefer to not write or draw, gathering up old magazines or newspapers and encouraging them to use words and pictures which fit with the theme of their zine and enhance them with their own words or pictures if they'd like to.
Thanks, Marie. That wraps up our walkthrough of the Resilience and Community Activity Pack. We really hope it sparks creativity and great discussions in your setting.